All right, we're recording, so we can go ahead and get started if you'd like.
All right, we're calling the Tuesday, October 6th meeting to order. Is there anybody in the public?
No public is in attendance.
No
nor
public?
Nor did I receive any emails, so no public
There you
comments.
go. We'll go on to the minutes. Anyone have any comments on the minutes?
No.
Good
No.
to me.
I move we approve them.
I'll second.
Been a move by Dave and approved or seconded by Robin that we approve the minutes for the previous meeting for September 15th. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it. Vouchers, paying the bills. We've got 3 of them. Any comments or discussion on those? I tied my shoe here a second.
You don't want to trip at your desk.
Well, I'll tell you what, I didn't want to waste any time, but the shoe came undone as I was going up the stairs, but I tried to get the meeting on time, so that was it.
Yeah, if you would have fallen, I somehow feel a lawsuit coming.
I know someone who would have represented me.
I don't have any questions on the vouchers. I will motion to approve.
Mike made the motion.
I'll second it.
The motion has been made by Mike and seconded by Robin that we approve the vouchers as presented to us. Any other further discussions? All those
They
in
look
favor
good to
say
me.
aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Park hours update for discussion. We have a little memo there that I read through. Mark, do you want to expound on that?
Yes, I'm not seeking any action today. I just wanted, this was something you asked me at the last meeting to start to work on. Wanted to just kind of show you a little bit of a level in progress. Wanted to kind of just get a feeling for what's out there currently. So we have some comparables in our local area, as well as more parks that are on par with Centennial, similar destination types of level of parks. I do think that the interesting thing is we know that it's a destination park. It's obviously there. We've hit the grand slam. It's pulling the people in. So it is trying to find ones that are very similar. And I do think that it'll be something that over time we'll bring this to you. But I just wanted to share that with you so you had that information where we're at currently. So in case other people do talk to you, so you get an idea for what other communities are doing with their parks and their particular communities as well. So I will say that the general consensus in most communities is that they're open from dawn to dusk. I would add that the Lake County Parks actually says 7 a.m. to sunset, and I think Ken was the one who mentioned it at the last meeting, and he's right. On average, it's about from sunrise to dawn, it's about a half an hour difference. From dusk to sunset, there's about a half an hour difference in there too. So that'll be something else that we'll have to kind of consider as we move into it. But just wanted to kind of just show you as a status report, a little bit of what the feelings are out there across other communities in our area, so you have that as we make further decisions later, probably later in the year for us.
Any questions,
No.
comments?
One here.
All right.
Nope.
We will move on. Let's see, what did I hid my agenda too well. I don't see it anymore. Next item is the community market event report.
We're gonna have Jill report on that.
So
Okay.
over the 8 scheduled dates for the market, we had a total of about 55 vendors. Of those 55 vendors, 16 of those were season vendors. We had pretty good weather for all of the markets except for 2. 2 of them were rained out. 1 of them was rescheduled. So the market vendors were quite pleased with that. getting a lot of conflicting evaluations back in regards to possibly moving it to town hall, people wanting to change the dates, kind of half and half on that. Some people would like to see it here Sundays at town hall in the morning. So I think my perspective looking forward is to look to partner it with something, just because no matter how much advertising and marketing we do for this event, attendance is still extremely low. So we couldn't do any of the entertainment factors or additional things that we wanted to this year because of COVID. So that would be kind of one of the things that we would look to maybe partner it with some kind of concert or something moving forward.
All right.
I think partnering it with something is a good idea, just to get the
Yeah.
crowds in.
How do these numbers compare with last year?
They are down about $1,000.
That's all. Huh?
Yeah.
That's not terrible.
Yeah.
Again, most of our money, of course, is driven from the vendors themselves, not necessarily the shoppers. So the vendors still paid kind of what, their going rates for being in the event. I don't think we really adjusted our numbers, lowering them in any way from the previous year. So they kind of, anticipated. And I think some of these vendors also realize that they're in that business where, hey, there's not a lot of opportunities to have marketplaces to sell things. So I think it's important that we have it available, continue to do it. I think as we look at doing things and put some attach other events to it and to share it, I do think that the visibility at Town Hall would be better than what we get personally at community. While we get the huge traffic counts, it is set further back, and I think it's kind of blends into the landscape whereas if it were at Town Hall, I think it would really stick out as you get all the traffic on Ridge Road. So that's something we'll definitely talk about in the future as we consider for next year.
Is there a town out there that's making a killing off of it?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah,
Right.
the only one that I know that does extremely well is St. John, and that's because they have all of like the local farmers from Lowell or Schneider or wherever from down there. We simply cannot get them. I've tried, our previous intern has tried, and we've called a ton of local farmers, and no one wants to come up here.
Right.
The only other one around that I know is really well attended and ran is the one out in Chesterton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard about Chester being good.
Well, wasn't the ballpark helping the vendors last year? Is what the deal
That
was?
was brought up by a couple of the vendors, and overall they were saying that it really wasn't. They were noticing that a lot of the people coming to the games were simply parking in the other lot, walking right through their area to go to the games, and they would never stop and browse or purchase or anything.
Not even the food vendors.
Mm-mm.
Huh.
How
Because
about,
they have concessions on site too for a cheaper amount.
Right. Yeah.
would it be crazy to pay a farmer to come up here?
Possibly an option.
It could be an option, and that's almost what you might have to do, or we just waive the fees for them.
Right.
Because you can imagine every town around is trying to do a market or farmer's market or community market, whatever you want to call it. And the quickest people who come in to sign up are your Avons and your Tupperwares and all those kinds of people. It's getting and those are the ones that people don't care to come there for, but they're riding the coattails of those other true farmers and so forth. I think it's going to be one of those where, and of course, if you were a farmer, how much staff do you have and how many markets can you send and how much product do you have to send to various, ones that are on multiple days of the week and so forth. So I think that is a comparable thing that we have to look at and really consider. I know that there's lots of communities these have come and gone, and trying to find it where it does get that routine kind of handle on things. The ones that have that downtown feel seem to be some of the best ones that are out there that continue on for a longer period of time. And I think that's where I guess I personally would tend to believe that we would do better at a town hall. But again, I think the bottom line comes down to is if we don't have a produce being sold there, fruits and vegetables being sold, or only one vendor, it's just not going to be as popular as some of these other ones that you've already mentioned.
Right.
All right. Any other comments?
Ken's talking here. I don't know if you can listen here. Ken, speak up.
I can't hear anything.
Go ahead. Come on over and stand here.
This is me. When we first started our farmers markets, we had them on Sundays. And we, at one park board meeting, just as we were starting, I argued that we shouldn't do it on Sunday. We should do it on Saturday or weekday. But that so many of the farmers have had farms for generations in this area, and most of them are Dutch, and the Dutch will not sell on Sundays. No matter what, they won't be here on Sundays. And so we had farmers markets with no farmers. And eventually, of course, turned it into a community market. But if we want farmers, we've got to avoid Sunday anyway.
Yeah, and that is their day off.
Yeah, I mean, and the farms are still owned by the same families that started them more than 120 years ago.
Right. Makes sense.
We'll take that all into account, and as we evaluate and prepare for next year's market, I think getting the input from the vendors themselves is important. But obviously, you see a lot of the decisions and the issues that come into this. It's a lot. There's a lot more to it than just throw a farmers market together and offer it and put it in town. So as you get other input from residents in the community, these are some of the issues that are before us as we discuss having continuing marketplaces for us. But it is a plus that we did bring in more revenue than expenses this year, so that's always a plus.
Okay. Anything else that's exciting out there that we need to be aware of? You want to talk about election day, Mark?
I will. Sure. I think I'm going to suggest that we do try to have a meeting, but we do it exclusively on Zoom because our meeting the first meeting in November is on Election Day, unless you guys would choose not to have it at all. But I would still like to get bills paid. And if we can do it all on Zoom, hopefully it'll be a short, quicker meeting. It is the noon meeting anyway. But on Election Day, we have polling places at Centennial, at Community Park, at Town Hall. We wouldn't want to have a Zoom. I don't know if you've been by Town Hall today, but there's a few hundred people in line already waiting to vote, early vote, and I think it's going to continue that way. So, and I think Election Day itself will be very crowded, and we wouldn't want that additional kind of interruption and noise in the building, having it in person at all. So I would suggest if we do it that day, we just have it exclusively Zoom. And I'll basically, coordinate it from my office.
Okay.
And parking would be a problem at any of those locations as well if we chose to do it a physical in-person one. So.
Sure.
You're saying there's a couple hundred people voting now at Town Hall? Really?
They were in line this morning, walk out the front door and all the way in front of the police department part of the building, out on the front sidewalk.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
How would you handle the public? How would you handle the public if anyone wants to come from the public to the meeting on that election day? Can they walk in?
Well, no, they would still have to attend it via Zoom, and that's kind of the way they're doing it now. Is we put that in our notice where they would have to, log in and go to the meeting, and if we see them log in, as I'm the host of the meeting, I can see other people who are logging in, and allow them, admit them into the room, and if they have something where they can speak up at a certain time there. That may have to go a little bit slower if we need to, but typically, again, the noon meeting is more. I think the intent behind it originally, when you went to 2 a month, was just to kind of get in here and get bills approved a little bit more often, and kind of make it a little bit quicker that way for us.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing else, then we can adjourn and everyone can go to lunch, and life's good.
Yeah, thanks again, Dan. And are you going to be in the office then next meeting at 5:30 or 5 o'clock? Or?
The next meeting is set for 5 o'clock on Tuesday, October 20th. is the next meeting. Mr. President, I would also remind you, when you get a chance to run over to Town Hall, we need you to sign a number of things.
Oh, boy.
from previous meetings.
I thought my days of doing that were over.
Well,
You
you're so far away, Dan. You know, that's a long trip.
You're still president. You still have to
I'll give
sign
you a
some
ride.
things.
You want me to
Instead
drive
of
you over
30
there?
seconds.
Hey,
Instead
Dave,
of
let's go
30
walk
seconds.
over there together. We're right down the hall from each other.
Sure, why not?
Okay.
It's probably best that you do walk because parking is very limited.
Now, can I go around on the side where your offices are to get in?
I'll go in the back and I'll bring them.
Do you have a fob?
No, with my salary, they don't give me a fob. I'm sorry.
If you knock on Jill's window, she can let you in maybe over there.
I'll be by after 1 o'clock. How about that? Are you at lunch? When are you at lunch till, Jill?
That sounds,
Yeah, probably. But I mean, just call the main number. Anyone can let you in on the side.
All right. I will do that. I'm going to go eat something. I will
appreciate it.
do something over there.
Okay.
All right. Motion to adjourn. Yep.
I move we adjourn.
It's been moved by Dave and seconded by Mike. We appreciate that. Appreciate that, Mike, for your comment. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Great. We'll see you guys. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, take care.
Have
Bye.
a good day.